Hello, my name is Mark Gray of Congo Greystone, and you are watching Black Ice TV 7.
These women wanted to be invited to their own different parties, and they were not being allowed to. And the film really explores what's preventing them from being allowed. And what I try to explore in the film is the fact that they need to first determine that they don't need to wait for permission from someone else to be allowed. They look to themselves, and even in the story, I have some preachers trying to say to them,
"You go anywhere you want, and there will be hell to pay."
To think that you could respect me when I couldn't even respect myself.
My name is Lyndon Wissart, author of the book The Inspired Diabetic. I reversed my type 2 diabetes in 105 days naturally. In my book, I'll tell you exactly how I done it, the journey, and my story. No sugarcoating. I provide a recipe for success. Visit my website, theinspireddiabetic.com, and visit all good bookshops to get a copy today.
Ah, man.
You need your own website.
This is Terry Riggs, Mr. Riggs.
Try our instant website service, and you'll get.
Ah, man. This is Terry Riggs, Mr. Riggs once again. And we're in another episode 9. And we've got a special guest in the house. A special guest, as I always say. You know, your health is your wealth. And, you know, today is talking with the creatives. And you know what? There's a lot of documentations of talking with the creatives in the catalog. Please go check them out. Please go and listen. Go and check out all these creatives within our community and on a global community as well. So, you know, you have the DJs, you have the musicians, you have the businesswomen, you know, you have all different types of people in different industries. And we're trying to bring out all the people within them industries to the forefront. But before we even go into the depth of it, I'm going to introduce the one and only, my brother, Lyndon. Please introduce yourself.
Well, that was quick. I was expecting more of an interlude, you know.
I've got the drum rolls, but you know what? I like to just get near the crust, you know, and get the information in as much as possible.
Thank you very much.
Give us a little, as we've had the introduction on the video already, but I want you to just give your full introduction of who you are, what you're about, and what you do.
Okay. You catch up. I'm just about to do my Facebook shares and stuff like that. No worries.
Don't worry. I'll give you time to do that one.
Oh my God. No worries. Listen, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you very much for having me on with you today. It's an honor and a privilege. I've seen Black Ice TV around. I've seen Mr. Riggs around, and that name is synonymous with the community and worldwide. And when I got the call from you, it's like, you're talking to me? You're talking to me? I said, let me pick myself, you know, let me snap. Yeah,
I've got to draw everyone out of their caves. We're in quarantine. We need to come out.
Jeez, so no, I just want to say thank you very much. It's an honor and privilege to be on the show with you this evening, to share my journey. Any questions that you want, you know, just fire at me, you know. So I'm all good. I'm excited. I'm motivated to help, to share my journey, and to inspire or motivate anybody else out there, because this is a journey that I chose. You know, it's a journey that just came along within my life, and because of the initial feedback that I was getting, made me continue on this journey, and to say like I just started, to know that I'm on a show like this with you this evening, it's an honor and a privilege, and I don't take it lightly. You know, this disclaimer that I like to put out there to a lot of people is that, number one, I'm not a medical person, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a person of diabetically trained in that sense. All I've done is done something with my diabetes, what I didn't even know what I was doing in the beginning, but what I done within 105 days, reversing my type 2 diabetes, which we'll go into more details with later, is something phenomenal around the world, and something that's I didn't know how much it affected people around the world. You know, so a couple of the statistics is like in the UK now, there's like 4.7 million people with diabetes. Around the world is like 400 million people plus with diabetes. Every 22 seconds, somebody loses a lower limb through diabetes, and every 6 seconds, somebody dies from diabetes. You know, and another statistic is every 3 minutes, there's a new diabetic person in the UK, considering what we're going through at the moment. So there's a lot of people out there suffering with diabetes. The two main types of diabetes is type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is when your pancreas is not producing any insulin, so it's not functioning properly. So you need to inject the insulin. And number 2 is when your pancreas is not performing enough, and you may need to inject yourself with the insulin. Or it could be could be type 2, when your blood sugars is very high. So this is my situation. My blood sugars was very, very high at that time when I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. So I will go into a bit more in details about what I've done and how I've done it and where I was going with it in a while, because even now it's what I learn more about what I've been doing it's amazing, to be honest with you, with the feedback that I get, you know.
And this is where this is the reason why I want you on the show, because what you've actually done is tap into your creative mindset. And that creative mindset is what brings all the abilities of what you do and what you're about to come into who you are right now. So, you know, I always say, like, in the beginning of the journey, I like to start is to talk about the fact of when you was at the age of 15, and what was you doing at that age of 15? Did you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I just made a mistake on my computer here. Sorry, say that again. Sorry.
That's okay. We come to be relaxed and enjoy. Family, please, you know what? Everyone, family, please press that like button, share it amongst the family, and it's information to understand people that are actually doing the work on ground across the globe in every community. So please press that like button as soon as you get that message. So, as I was saying before, you know, Lyndon, you know, when you was 15 years old, and you was out and about doing your young thing, what was you up to at that time of your age? 15. To be honest, when I was 15, I couldn't wait to leave school. You know, wow. I was 15. I was on a journey that I wanted to leave school ASAP. You know, and to be honest with you, I was just ambitious at a young age, because even at school, after school, I'd be working. You know, during half term, I'd be working as well. And I remember I was working in a factory illegally, you know, at a young age. And the first job that I was on was working in a it's funny, I was speaking about this with my daughter the other day about this, you know, because now the technology's changed now. You know, now they're all on computers. You know, I had to go out and work in a factory
with the furniture. And I worked in the school holiday. I worked from Monday to Friday. Yeah. And then on Monday to Friday, they paid me a wage, yeah, of £13.
At
Yeah.
15?
Yeah. For full
They
week.
even let me do the paper round when I was 15.
You know, it's funny, and because of that, you know, 15, that was my level of ambition, and I was the latchkey kid at home because I was the youngest at home of my youngest of three at that time, and because I'll be the first person home, I had to make food for myself because my mum wasn't there, nobody was there. So I had a key. So when I got home, one of the things my mum used to do, she used to grow scallion in the garden, you know, which is spring onion. So I used to go into the garden, cut the scallion, bring it in the house, wash it, chop it up, put it into a frying pan, and then throw some baked beans in there, you know? And then I just fried 2 eggs, had some bread, and that was my pre-dinner meal when I came off from school most of the time, you know? So at 15, my ambition level for cooking was there already. I enjoyed cooking, you know? So when I left school, I said to myself, okay, I want to go into catering. I was used to home economics at school. I enjoyed home economics. And then from there was a thing called the YTS scheme back then, you know? And the YTS scheme was Young Training Scheme, which was put on by the government. And on my YTS scheme, it was a matter of out of 2,000 people that applied for it, I was one of 12 that got the position. Yeah, one of 12 that got the position. And on that YTS scheme, you worked in a hotel and you worked in all the different departments, from accounts to concierge to cleaning out the bedrooms, everything, the different departments, yeah, and even working in the kitchen for myself. Excuse me. And it was amazing because I knew at the end of the 12 months, I wanted to work in the kitchen. That was my goal. That was my focus. So every department that I went into, I learned as much as I can and I worked hard. But the best department that I worked in when I was in a hotel was a concierge, you know? Because when you work in the concierge, at the end of the week, Mr. Riggs, they give you a brown envelope, you know? And it wasn't even wages, it was tips, man. and the funny thing about it, the tips sometimes was as much as your wages. You know?
And that's where a lot of people couldn't wait for Christmas when they got that big, large tip. Yeah. You know? But let me ask you this question. In forms of your creative mind, at that age, at that young age, what would you say was your goal, or what would you, you know, like when you was a child and they say, what would you like to be? What did you see yourself being, and what did you see yourself doing at that time of your young age?
Chef. That's all I wanted to do.
Oh,
that was my main focus.
Okay. So would you say the concept of loving food? Yeah.
For some reason, that was my main focus. I didn't think about anything else apart from just finding a job to be a chef. So when I left school, I got the YTF scheme. After the 12 months on the YTF scheme, I went straight into the kitchen, the main kitchen. And that's where I get my certificates.
Leonard, I want you to quickly explain what YTS is, because not everyone would understand what YTS is, especially to our American and our Caribbean counterparts. They would like to understand what the YTS stands for.
YTS, Young Training Scheme. Yeah, it was a government scheme for teenagers coming out of school. Yeah, that wanted to go into a career who didn't know what career they wanted to go into. So the YTS scheme, you go to a company that was running the government scheme, and if you liked what you're doing, you can get a job from that after that scheme. Yeah, the job wasn't guaranteed, but it gives you the good opportunity to have a look at the environment that you feel that you want to go into. In my case, I went into a hotel. So in the hotel, I went to the different departments, about 5 or 6 different departments, from accounts to like the porter concierge, to housekeeping, to the kitchen. And I worked in all of those different departments over the 12 months. and then you get a feel of what's it like to be in these departments and to learn a skill, you know, which is really, really good. So a lot of people, they went to, a lot of people that was on that scheme from me, the 12 people, I think all of them, they went straight into the hotel and stayed in that hotel and had a job there, you know, if I can remember, because everybody liked what they were doing at that time. Yeah. So it was very, very good. So it gives you the opportunity to try something, and it's a genetic thing to be, oh, this feels good. I don't mind doing that, you know, and then you go into that. And then after that, that's your career line from there. And for me, because I enjoyed my catering, when I went into that hotel, I stayed there for a couple of years, and I wanted to get my first degree as a chef, which they called a 7061 back then. And my 7062, I applied for different hotels. And at that time, one of the best hotels to work in was like the hotels down Park Lane or Savoy, the Hilton, all these different hotels, Intercontinental, all these 5-star hotels in London. So what I done, I applied to all of these hotels in London for a job. And you would never believe it. About this last summertime, I was at my mum's house, and I found some of the paperwork of applications that I had from back then.
Let me ask you a question in the fact of when you was going to doing your courses, because I always ask a lot of cooks, and I ask a lot of doctors this question. Was you educated in forms of nutrition, or was it something, or was it just basically how to cook a food and learn the health and safety?
No, nutrition was involved, health and safety was involved. All of that was very, very it's all part of the course. Nutrition, health and well-being, health and safety. It was all part of it back then, you know. So when you hear people talking about you got to watch your hands 5 times nowadays, we were doing that a long time ago. It was nothing ever new to us. And especially now when you're working in the kitchen, you're probably washing your hands probably 10, 20 times a day anyway, because you're handling different foods, from raw foods to cooked foods. You're touching different equipment. You're wiping down equipment. You're using sanitizers. You're using soaps, all these kind of things. So on a day-to-day basis, for some of us, it was natural to wash our hands regularly. So nutrition, health and well-being was a very important part of what the catering is. But some people, they just go on to the how can I put it, the direction of just cooking, and they forget about the nutritional side of it, you know, because sometimes you go into a lot of these places and all they want now is like fast food, quick food, but there is a nutritional attachment with it. Like they may have a salad that goes with it, so you have options of a vegetarian dish or a low calorie dish. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you do have the options. Or if you don't want something fried, you have it steamed. So the calories lower then. So it's all different compared to now. It really is.
So let's hold that cooking for a hot second.
Yeah.
Do you have any mindset of doing something different from when you was going through the educational system and what you was doing in forms of your catering? Because sometimes when we're going through life, it's not as easy as people make it out to be. So sometimes we may get something that might sidetrack us and go to another direction.
Yeah.
Did you have anything that you felt that you may want to do besides just becoming that chef?
Okay, this is really interesting. You asked that question because it takes me on a different angle now. When I was at school, I got a friend named Andrew. There's 3 of us, Andrew, Alan, and me. Yeah, at school. Andrew played the bass. He's a bass player, wicked bass player. You know, down in Tottenham side, pure musicians down there. Yeah, okay. And Andrew came to me one day, he says, Lyndon, you're playing drums, Alan, you're playing keyboard. I said, what? He goes, yeah, we're forming a band. I said, pardon? So yeah, you're playing drums and you're playing keyboard. I'm playing the bass, you know? So I thought to myself, okay. So I had no intentions of being a musician, none at all. So because Andrew said, Bob's, you're playing, Lyndon, you're playing bass, I said, fine. Drums, I said, fine, okay. So I started to learn the drums. So we had some friends who had drum kits back then. So we went to my school. Yeah, I found the music class. I asked the music teacher, can I play the drums? Can I start get some lessons? I started to play drums at school. After that, we found some friends in Tottenham area, because back then Tottenham area was full of musicians everywhere. And we used to go around to people's houses, play the drums, play the bass, play the guitars, everything like that. And my focus was, I found a drum kit that I really wanted. And my goal and my focus was my bedroom was full of magazines with all drums, and the one that I wanted was right in front of me. Yeah, it was a Tama Swing Star, black one. Yeah, so my focus was that drum kit, and my next thing was to do, okay, Lyndon, you need to start saving your money and buy that drum kit. So I was focused on getting that drum kit. So I saved and saved and saved. Yeah, we knew how much it cost. We knew what shop we were going to get it from. Yeah, and then what I done, I just saved the money in a few months and I just bought it. That was my focus. I bought my drum kit, my dream drum kit, and up to today, I've still got that drum kit. I don't play it like I used to. And the highlight of my drumming career, we done a concert at the Hippodrome in London back then.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that brings me close to as we know, this is talking with the creatives, and we're talking with our brother Lyndon, and every so and then I will be playing adverts, or I'll be playing some music to get people into the mood, because it's Friday night and sometimes something too heavy on us. So I'm just gonna quickly play one little song, one little about the women. What the men should be doing, so I'm going to quickly put that up and give the people so they can quickly go and get their drinks, go and put their feet up, get their cushions, get their what they call it, the baby sheets. I know a lot of people like that stuff. Yes, let me just quickly play that video. Here we go. For the family.
In my rest and in my rising, late at night and early morning, girl, you're always on my mind. You know I never deny you, say I satisfy you, you're always on my mind. Seems like I'm in pain, baby, I'm falling for you. Oh, no, no matter what I do, I'm still in love with you, yeah. Baby, I'm falling for you. I know that things may change, this love remains the same. First thing first, you make me smile. When I'm around you, you make my emotion goes wild. You give me the strength and the drive to keep on keeping on in rough times, tough times. And when I wake up from my sleep, you're always there, girl, beneath my sheet. This love is discreet, I can only believe. Now, seems like I'm in pain. Baby, I'm falling for you. Oh, no matter what I do, I'm still in love with you. I'm in pain. Baby, I'm falling for you. I know that things may change, this love remains the same. No, I don't really matter what people say. You always in my world, in love we'll stay. Girl, I made you a promise this day, I won't go astray. For your love, I'll walk a million miles. You were there for me in tough times, and there's no compromise. I'm yours if you're mine. Seems like I'm in pain. Baby, I'm falling for you. Oh, no matter what I do, I'm still in love with with you. Yeah. Baby, I'm falling for you. I know that things may change. This love remains the same. In my rest and in my rising, late at night and early morning, girl, you're always on my mind. You know I never deny you. Say I satisfy you. You're always on my mind. Seems like I'm in pain. Baby, I'm falling for you. Oh, no. No matter what I do, I'm still in love with you. Baby, I'm falling for you. I know that things may change. This love remains the same. Baby, I'm falling for you. No matter what I do, I'm still in love with you. Yeah. Baby, I'm falling for you.
Yes. We're back again. A little bit of slow time music for you. You know, give your husband a hug, give your husband a kiss. Why? You know, the men go and give your husband, give your wives a kiss and a hug. You know what I mean? This is what it's about. It's about togetherness and it's about family. You know. So now getting back to our brother, let's get into that nitty gritty. Good evening to the people in the chat. Please press that like button. Inspiredemic, Sonia, what's it called? DJ, DC Brad, Everything is Everything, Chanel Campbell, peace to the family, you know, share, like, and subscribe to everyone as much as possible. So as we was getting into that nitty gritty of the music.
Yeah, love the music.
What happened in your transition for that and the music? And as well as doing this catering, what was the next steps?
The next steps, I was working at the Savoy, and one day I came out of the Covent Garden train station, and this guy comes up to me, and he looks at me, and he says, "Can I speak to you for a second?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Would you be interested in earning some extra money?" You know, this is on the street, and I thought to myself, yeah, why not? What's he doing? You know? So he gave me a little spiel and he said, listen, I'm having a meeting on Monday evening. If you want to come down and we'll tell you more about it. So I thought to myself, extra money, I'm up for that. So Monday evening I went to this meeting and it was a network marketing company business that I went to look at, you know? And it begins with A and it finishes with Y, just in case. Don't get political, but I started this business. I looked at it. I thought I've got nothing to lose, and I just went for it. You know, I went for it, and the learning programs that I had, the books that I started to read. The first book that I started to read proper in my life was a book called The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz, and that book literally changed my life. It changed my life, changed my thoughts of what I really wanted to do, how to think, how to control, how to do certain things, because I was ambitious physically and mentally, but I didn't have no specific guidance. So when I got into this network marketing company, I met up with a lot of people who are successful already, a lot of people who are giving you, like back then we had books, tapes, CDs, do you know what I'm saying? And the training system to become successful was second to none. So throughout my life, it gave me the stability to learn how to work with people. You know, and one of the things my mother always said to me, said, Lyndon, always get on with people. You know, always get on with people. And this is one of the things that stuck with me all my life. So on my journey of this network marketing business, I rose to certain levels of I would call it success, because once you move from one level to another level, that's success. You know, but you get to a point where people recognizing you and ask you to come and talk on stage and do different things. So I've traveled, I got free holidays throughout the organization that I was part of, and it's just brilliant. It's brilliant. So it put me in good stead for my future life. You know what I'm saying? As a foundation, through reading the books, A lot of the books
Yeah.
that I read, management, training, people skills. There's another book called, by a guy called Les Giblin, Skill with People. He's got 36 pages in it. And that book just made me understand the principle about people, you know, the listening more than talking, you know, the respect and, you know, just listen and how to deal with people much easier. And I think that helped me with, especially in my cooking, in the catering, because in the kitchen, you do meet a lot of aggressive people in the kitchen. And in the kitchen, it's very hard work. Working at the Savoy was very, very tough. You know, morning, noon, and night. We work
to the public. What type of hotel was that he was working for? Because you know, they have the kind of insight of the magnitude of hard work that he was dealing with.
The hotel that I was working back then, it was a Savoy Hotel. It was a 5-star hotel. Yeah, and back then they were putting coal in the ovens. Yeah, we had coal top. If anybody's got my book, The Inspired Diabetic, I've got pictures of me in the Savoy there, yeah. And working in Savoy, when my first day coming into the kitchen, yeah, they were all speaking French, yeah. Everything was called out in French, yeah. So it's like a totally different language when you go in there. It's like, what is this? What is this? It's like a very big oiled machine. When you walk into there, you got all different sections: roast sections, cold section, fish section, meat section, sauce section. You know, and it's like it's. I don't know. It's very hard to explain, but the experience is awesome. Yeah, working in such a big brigade of chefs, probably about 30, 40 of them, easy.
So is that like kind of a thing where you have the what we call the head chef?
Yes.
You have chef, and then you have other chefs, and
well, in the Savoy, we had the executive chef, yeah. Then we had head chefs, then we had sous chefs, yeah. And then you got the chef de partie, yeah. And then you got chef de rangs, sauciers, and different levels of people: sauciers, fish section, meat section. But now you get a chef that does everything. Nowadays, you get a chef doing everything. The head chef's doing even the washing up.
but you know what? The head chef's got it easy this time round because we're in lockdown, so there's not many in the hotel.
Listen, some head chefs ain't even working now. Some head chefs ain't got no jobs now. I'm telling you, it's dire out there at the moment. It's really a sad situation that we're getting through at the moment. You know,
I want to ask a question though. I want to ask this question in the fact that, as you're doing all this cooking and cooking meat and cooking all the vegetables and all these desserts and all that kind of stuff, first of all, I want to ask, how did you see it compared to mum's cooking? Number one. Number two, did you feel overwhelming? And number three, could you eat your own food within that premises, but after you've cooked it? Because I find that a lot of cooks, when they cook food for a lot of people, they tend to not like eating their own food.
Well, it depends what food it is, you know. Because me personally, I love food anyway, you know. And when you're working in the early days, it's easier in the early days to find that transition, because from the background that I've come from, Jamaican background, you know, our food range wasn't a very wide one, yeah. So when you go to a place like Savoy, you got such a vast range of excuse me, of different foods, yeah, from different meat, different cuts, you know, from different fishes, you know, from salmon, from wild salmon to farm salmon to sole to turbot. You know, these are fishes I've never even heard of before, you know, and it's just like a total different. But the thing about it, when you start to taste these foods, it's like, wow. It's like, wow, this is like an addiction of new foods that your palate is tasting, and you get addicted to them easily. So the transition from my mother's food, but to be honest with you, my mum's the best cook. Everything my mum touches, I love. I remember even when I was younger, all my family friends used to come around the house. My cousins said, "Lyndon, your mum's food, man, nice." You know, your food, mom, your food nice. So even up to now, you know, even if they ask me, even on my deathbed, if you say, whose food would you want to eat? I'd eat my mum's food. I said, Mum, just give me a rice and peas and chicken, man. I don't care. Do you hear me? So the transition from my mum's food to the food I was having at Savoy, it was just a different texture, different palate, and just different foods to enjoy. So that added to what I started to enjoy within my life, you know? And regarding can we eat the foods at that time, sometimes you're afraid to eat it. You don't want to eat it. Because number one, you can't be seen eating food when you're serving it to the head chef or to the sous chef. They don't want to see you eating food. You know, some places they'd rather you throw away the food than you eat it. Yeah. But some places are very compassionate. Even nowadays, they're very compassionate. So have something to eat. You know, have something to eat. So back then is more stricter regarding the food. Yeah, much more stricter. But if there's something went wrong, it says, okay, you can have that. You can. You've messed that up. You might as well eat it now that you've messed it up. You know.
Let me ask this question then. Because when Mum was cooking food, did she used to give you like a lot of what I call it the Sunday remedies? Did you ever used to get them Sunday remedies where they used to call it the washout? They used to have these tablets or these kind of health things that you must eat or clean out yourself in
still get it. I still get it. I still get the washout. even up to today, my mum saying, I got some bush for you. I got some biscuit tea for you. Yeah. She got some cocoa the other day. And today she was grating some cocoa and drying it down like she did back in Jamaica. Yeah. When it comes to the 7 weeks holiday, from 6 week holiday from school, we used to have to wash out, clean out, you know, the cod liver oil, you know, and this thing. My mother brought us up on liquor fruiter. Do you know liquor fruiter? Liquor fruiter is a cough medicine. Yeah, it's a cough medicine. Yeah, back then. So anytime you're sick, or you got a little flu, or you got a cough, take some liquor fruiter. Yeah, that's what my mom. Even up today, my mom was talking to me about liquor fruiter. Yeah, from a child. Yeah, because she knows what's going on with the V stuff that's going on nowadays. So she said, Lyndon, keep up your immune system. You know, have your cod liver oil.
Let me ask you this question then. Let me ask you this question, because in your time back then, you wasn't allowed to have the amount of what we call sweets and sugar stuff that we have today, in the fact that it was a privilege to having these things.
We can afford it.
How did you find...
We can afford it.
But, you know...
We had no money. Listen, when I was younger, having a can of a Coke was a luxury. Yeah? The only time I drank a can of a Coke is when I was going on a school holiday. Yeah, a school trip. Yeah, okay. Or when I was taking it for a lunch break. Yeah, okay. I'd have a lettuce, ham sandwich and a tin of Coke. Yeah. Lettuce, ham, bread, and a tin of Coke. That was my lunch when I was going to school sometimes, or when I was going on a school trip, and that was it. Yeah, I remember the days when I said to myself, you know, when I get older, I'll get myself a job, gonna get some money, gonna buy all these sweets, gonna buy all this and that. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, and I remember back then we used to collect bottles, yeah. And when you collect the bottles, the fizzy drink bottle, you take it to the off license, and they give you 10 pence back. Yeah, 10p for the bottle. And back then, Riggs, let me just finish. Back then, Riggs, you know, the off license used to open up, 6-7 o'clock Sunday evening. Yeah, it used to be closed throughout the day. Yeah. For some reason on Saturday, when there was parties going on, people would be drinking and stuff like that. We go collect the bottles. And on Sunday evening, when the off license open up, we go and take the bottles to the counter and get some money back. You know, so we were recycling back then. So they don't do that now.
Okay, so now we're gonna go up in age a bit more now, And after you started to go through your courses, you was in this job, you're in your mid-20s.
Yeah.
How was you in them times, and what was your mindset in the facts of your creativity? Because now you're starting to have all these different types of tools coming from mum, coming from the college, coming from work. You're putting all these, you're amalgamating all this together.
Yeah.
What was your next steps in life of what you was planning to do?
My next steps in life, because I found the work hard at the Savoy. I done my 2 years at the Savoy. So after 2 years at the Savoy, you could get a certificate and you can move on. So once you got a certificate from the Savoy, you can go and work anywhere after that. Work anywhere. Mm-hmm. And at that time, because I was working morning, noon, and night, I was working weekends as well. I had a girlfriend at that time. She left me because I didn't have no time for her. Yeah. And I started to look for another job from the Savoy, and I got myself a job, a 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Job at Lloyds Bank International, which is in Cheapside, and it's not there anymore. And the day that I handed in my notice at the Savoy, the executive said to me, said, "Lyndon, you stupid boy, why do you want to go to a bank for to work? But for me to go to the bank, it wasn't that I wanted to do anything much different. It's just that the bank was an executive position where I was going for, yeah, and it wasn't just a normal cooking. It was cooking for the directors of the bank, yeah. So it was high class cooking we were doing, but the head chef didn't realize that he wanted me to go abroad to another country and develop my skills, because there's a big story around me working at the Savoy. He saw a lot of potential in me. And he moved me up through the ranks very, very quickly. He did. So there's people that was at the Savoy before me, but he gave me positions over them. And that was very commemorative of him. And I respected him for that. But I needed to move on in my life where I need a bit more stability. So when I went to Lloyds Bank, I met my children's mother. Within about a year of that, we started to have a family, So
everything just started to rush and come into the altercations. That is the changer.
Yes. Yeah. So that was it. So I was in my early 20s when I had my first child, and then a year and a half after that, we had twins. We did. Mm-hmm. So it was a very interesting time. It's funny. I was looking at one of the pictures this morning of me and my first child. I looked so young, so mager, as they would say, mager, and an afro as well, And I think to myself, wow, how times changed. So me looking at that, I'm thinking how far we've come now. So my daughter's she's in her 30s now. She is the oldest one, and the twins are 30 now, 30. So, and they got children. Well, one of them's got children now. So my granddad as well now. And all this, you don't expect it. So your life changes and you deal with certain challenges as you come along, So my transition then from working at the bank, I just moved on to different places. And one day I was walking down a road in Tottenham, and there's a notice on this door, and it said catering company. And I thought to myself, let me go in there and see if they got any weekend jobs. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I was working Monday to Friday then. And with the kids, obviously I needed extra money. So I went in there. I saw the owner of the company. I said to him, listen, I'm a chef. I've done this. No CV, nothing. And I said to him, are you looking for any chefs? He goes, okay, on Sunday, come to this hotel in London. And that was it. Come there, 8 o'clock, whatever, and we take it from there. So Sunday morning, I made my way to this hotel, and that started another career for me, doing outside catering. I went there, I started to do outside catering with this other company. And that's when I built up my confidence with working with different companies and organizations. So I was working mostly weekends. So Monday to Friday, I'll be doing the bank job. Saturday or Sunday, I'll be doing the extra jobs and outside catering. And come to think of it, because I used to finish work at about 3:30, we used to go on to work for other companies in the evening straight after work through agency. you know. But we go to another agency straight after work, and we could be working from 5 o'clock till 9, 10 o'clock at night, working somewhere else, you know. So that was interesting. I think, to be honest, you forget about the little things you used to do back in life when you reflect on it now, you know. So thank you, Mr. Riggs. You're bringing back some memory lane for me, you know, some good times, you know. It's a good time, you know.
So, all right, we're gonna come back. I've got to play an advert. It's all on certain things, and as I'll say, rest in power to Marcus Garvey's son. But this is his organization and his business, which I always advertise. Let me get that up and show the people, you know, of what is going on.
I'm Dr. Julius Garvey, board-certified cardiothoracic and vascular surgeon, practicing in New York and Jamaica, West Indies. I am previously the Chief Medical Officer of Cannabis Science. I'm currently CEO of Essentials Limited. I believe in holistic healthcare and been practicing this because of the nature of the mind-body complex, which the mind is superior to the body and directs the body in terms of both health, energy, and the balancing of the different systems in the body. And of course, the body and the mind have to be balanced also with the environment. So we use a lot of plant medicines, and we understand the science of the mind, and we help our patients to understand their own minds. So between the mind and the natural environment, we treat the patients holistically. I'm very pleased to be the CEO of Essentials Limited.
Greetings, my name is Anthony J. Hall. I'm a board-certified neurological surgeon in the USA and Jamaica. I've also practiced cannabis-based medicine for about 6 years. I've had the fortune of using medical cannabis and other terpenes, flavonoids, and lipids for treating various ailments and illnesses. I'm a member of a very holistic group called Pure Jamaica Medical. Our group is located in Kingston, Jamaica. We have 4 specialties. Our mix allows us to integrate typical medications, dietary measures, surgical interventions, nutritional supplements, herbals, and medical cannabis for our ailments. We are also able to do some telehealth through tech media such as Zoom and freeconferencecall.com. Thank you for listening.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aubrey Jacob Oliver. I'm a holistic practitioner specializing in functional medicine. I also want to differentiate between holistic medicine and allopathic medicine. Allopathic medicine deals with pharmaceutical therapy, and a lot of time it's based on the symptom of the patient. As a holistic practitioner, we try to find the root of the problem and try to heal the whole body of the patient. That is why it's called holism. We deal with the mind, body, and soul, and once that is balanced, then the body can heal itself. The body is what does the healing, not the medicine. We use supplement. We also use phytonutrients, which deals with plants, and also, and mainly, energy medicine, which is called bioenergetics. The body is energy. And whenever there's a disorder or a disease that's going on in the body, it's usually a lack of energy to certain parts of the body, whether it's lymphatic or neurological, or even what we call endocrine system. So the body also has a what you call a cannabinoid system. And so this is where even cannabis comes in to also help heal the body. But all of these are what we use to aid the body in healing itself. And that is what holism is all about. And that is what a holistic practitioner focuses on, healing the body. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dexter Andrews and I'm the CFO of Essential Limited. I've worked in finance for over 15 years on everything from small startups to government level infrastructure projects. Jamaica has a growing pedigree second to none when it comes to the cultivation of cannabis. The plant has flourished there for over 100 years and continues to do so. The global cannabis market will be worth 400 billion by 2025. And as global legislations change, we know these numbers can only rise. So it's a very exciting time to be in cannabis, and we are very excited about the future of our company.
Yes, now we're back again. Hope you enjoyed that little advert there, family. Please press that like button, press the like, share, and subscribe. You know, this is what we need to get ourselves bigger and better. So as we prove ourselves, this is Black Eyes TV ×2, and this is our entertainment channel to giving you all the information. And on Black Eyes TV itself is the educational, where we do the PowerPoint. Check out the dialogue, check out the information on Black Eyes TV. But this is our new growing and big channel, which we're going to be dealing with the general public and dealing with the entertainment world, the art world, the creative world, and all the people that are actually doing the work within the community and beyond, on a global tip. But yes, my brother Lyndon,
yes,
we're now getting to that nitsy and crust of the diabetes.
Jeez!
And first one, I need you to give us a little breakdown. What is diabetes? Because not a lot of people understand what diabetes is. And how did you come and step towards that diabetes in your creative mindset? Because I'm saying to myself, how did someone that was in the music industry and in the chef industry and in the bank industry, putting them all together to come in to get into that situation of diabetes, and even on the part of creating a book? So before we get to the book, let's get to the crust. What is diabetes, my brother?
Diabetes, well, there's two main types of diabetes. Type 1 is when your pancreas is not producing any insulin, so you got to inject yourself with insulin. Type 2 is when your pancreas is still not functioning enough, but you still may have to use some insulin. And also your blood glucose level will be very high as well, like your sugar level with type 2. So with type 2, sugar level is very high. That was me. Blood glucose very, very high. And when I was diagnosed with that, I didn't even know what diabetes was when I was diagnosed. Because, like you said, a man that's doing music, chef, and as a chef, I'm supposed to be healthy anyway, But as a chef, sometimes we're eating foods all the time because it's got to taste right. So, Mr. Riggs, if I'm giving you a meal, I got to taste at least 5-6 times before I put it on your plate to make sure it tastes good, Because I don't know what's sending the food back. Don't know what's sending the food back. So this is another thing that you see some chefs, they're overweight because a lot of the times, number one, they're eating lots of sauces, not drinking right stuff, and eating a lot of carbohydrates. So therefore, sometimes we're too tired to even exercise, So we don't even put exercise into the framework of our lifestyle. So in my particular case, when I was diagnosed, my typical morning, Mr. Riggs, is like I'll have 3 slices of hard-dough bread, I'll have butter on that hard-dough bread. I'll put some jam on that hard-dough bread. I taste it. If I couldn't taste enough jam, I just put some more on there, and I just say, I'll have a latte coffee in the morning. The latte is a processed one, so it's got sugar in it already. It's got processed milk powder in it already. Yeah, and what I do, I put some days hot milk or it's hot water on it, and I put 3 to 4 teaspoons of brown sugar in it. Brown sugar because brown sugar is supposed to be the healthier option for you. Yeah, and also I'd add honey to that as well. And the reason why I'd add honey to that, during the summertime, I used to get a nose run. My throat used to be itchy. My eyes used to be itchy as well. I think to myself, why is it always running, and why am I always feeling this way in summertime? And I said that to my friend. I said, Lyndon, you got hay fever. I said, what were you talking about? He said, yeah, you got hay fever. I said, I can't get hay fever. He said, you got hay fever. So when I checked out the symptoms of what hay fever is, that's what I had, the symptoms of hay fever. So I was in denial for many years that I had hay fever. I thought it was just a cold I got every year. So the way to get rid of the hay fever was to have honey, yeah, because you get the hay fever from the pollen. So in the local area, if you eat honey from the local area, it should prevent you from getting hay fever. So where I live down in the country. So around me, I've got plenty farms, yeah. So when you go to a farm shop and you're buying honey, a small jar has a big price, yeah. Okay, I think to myself, how often am I going to be buying this small jar? Because I'm taking this thing every day, 3-4 times a day. So I thought to myself, let me go to a bigger store and buy a bigger jar of honey with a smaller price. And that's obviously the cheaper one, the cheaper honey, you know? So I'll put that into my coffee, my cereal, anything that I feel I needed the honey on, I'll put it on. So that was my breakfast in the morning, going to work. Once I got to work, I'd be cutting cakes, yeah? And with the cakes, you have to cut them into portions. So every time you're cutting the cake, to get the right size portion, you have to trim the edges off. So what you do, you take the edges off and you put it in the bowl in front of you, yeah? So you're eating, cutting up cakes, eating. And then someone's going to say to you, you want a cup of tea? Do you want a coffee? Say, yeah, I'll have another coffee. So I'll have another coffee, yeah? I'll put my sugar in it and I'll put my honey in it as well. So that was my coffee during the morning time at work. Lunchtime come now, I'd have a pasta, rice, potato, a fizzy drink, yeah, for lunch. And a meat dish as well, or whatever they were serving up. That was a carbohydrate. Pasta, rice, potatoes, whatever it was. So that was lunch. After lunch, about 2:30 in the afternoon, you'd have a tea break. So a tea break, you can have some biscuits with it, you can have some more cakes, you can have the sugar in the coffee, you can have the honey in the coffee, because it's an addiction. That's what you like, yeah? When you finish work now,
I'm ready.
I'd finish work about 4 o'clock. Yeah, 4 or 5 o'clock. But it's going to take me about an hour and a half to get home. So I'd go to the shop and get a free meal deal. Yeah, it used to be a BLT sandwich or a chocolate bar or a fizzy drink. Yeah, or a packet of crisps. It'd be always one of those selections together. So that was my journey home. And these days when I'm driving my car and I could hear this noise in the boot going ka-ching, ching, ka-ching, ching. What's that noise? What's that noise? So I pull over the car. I look in the boot. Oh, got my J2O in there, innit? So I used to be addicted to J2Os, you know? Because when I used to go out with my friend to the pub, I didn't drink alcohol. So I used to drink J2Os. So I was addicted to J2Os. So the reason why I buy these J2O cases, when I go to the cash and carry, they got a big sign in front of you. Case of J2O, £5.20. You go to the pub, J2O's £2.50 for a bottle. So it makes common logic to buy a case and have it when you want it. Yeah. So what I do, I don't put the boots. I take one bottle there and I bust one bottle there and I drink it there. I don't know why, but I just drink one bottle and I take another bottle and put in the car with me for my journey home. Yeah.
You know what? Do you know what then, Leonard? Though it's like you might as well just put diabetes in a bottle and drink it.
Mr. Riggs, it's not even finished there yet. I've not even got home yet. Yeah, got home there. If a lot of people out there will know that you got your wife or your partner at home, they're cooking or they've got a meal for you ready for when you come home. So my wife had my dinner there. It's gonna be a pasta, rice, potato, and on my table I got my number one drinks, my ginger beer and my mango juice. Yeah, so I can't turn around to my wife and say, "Listen, I'm not gonna eat now because I've been eating all day. I'm not hungry." She goes, "What's something wrong with my food?" Was there something wrong with my food? So you got to eat again, innit? So you got to eat again just to please your partner or your wife. So you eat your food, and you know what happens after that, Mr. Riggs, don't you? We guys, we sit down in the sofa, chill out, switch the TV on, watch some football, but we're gone. We're gone, you know?
You sure you wasn't 8 months pregnant?
Oh man, so funny. Sorry?
I'm gonna quickly play one of your diabetes adverts, and then we're gonna come back.
All right.
The inspired diabetic
is a positive-minded person
who
achieved an extraordinary
result.
Extraordinary result.
Reversed his diabetes.
Really, really love that
one. Yeah, but in the facts of this eating all that food, because that's just, you know what, it's made me. I don't even want to eat nothing again.
I know.
I feel heavy.
Mr. Riggs, you don't want to eat nothing else. But once your wife or your partner nudges you, come to bed, yeah, you get up, you say, okay, I'm going to come to bed. So what you do? You go to the kitchen, I'll have a drink before I go up. So you make a cup of tea, you go into the cupboard. I know you, Mr. Riggs, you take out your digestive biscuits in it.
Oh my gosh.
You take out your digestive biscuits, and what you do, you go to sit down in front of the TV, you're eating digestive biscuits, 3 or 4 of them's not enough, you go back to the cupboard, just take the packet, man. You know, so you just take the packet, next thing you know, you finish the packet.
Yep.
Yeah, you finish the packet. You know?
So let me ask this. So after eating all this kind of foods,
yeah,
when did you make that decision into saying, you know what, enough's enough?
Boy, you want to make me cry now, innit?
Yep.
You want to make me cry?
We don't hide from the things that we under the carpet. But you know what?
That day, man, I thought it was gonna be a nice evening today. You turned another corner, man. You turned another corner. It was just one of those days, you know. I had to seek the truth. October 2015, when I got the news, you know, when I was working in the kitchen one morning, just working on a calculator. 1 and 1 was 3, 4 and 4 was 9, 6 and 6 was 2. Nothing was working for me properly. My mind wasn't functioning. My body wasn't functioning. I was in my own little zone. And then this chef is calling out my name. Lyndon. I said, what? Because he was making these jokes and everybody's laughing, but I didn't hear it. He goes, Lyndon, why are you not laughing at my jokes? I just took one look in his eyes. I just looked him in the eye and I just ran to the changing room. And I just fell on the floor and I just cried like a baby. Because I had so many things going wrong with my body for the last year. Pins and needles in my feet, blurred vision, no clarity in the mind. I had issues with my stomach. I would have pain in my stomach, but nothing else. I had blood in my stool, pins and needles all the time. I was overweight. You know, and I had some itchy genitals, you know, as well. You know, some things that I'm saying to myself, where's this stuff come from? What's happening here with my body? And the chef came into me and said, Lynn, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? I said, I got all these things going wrong with me. I just don't know what's happening to me, you know? I just can't function properly. So Lynn, you know what you need to do? Go to the doctor or go home, go and see somebody or get something done. So that afternoon, he said to me, Lyndon, just go home. So I thought to myself, okay, I'll go home. And it must have been about 2:30. And I said, okay, I'm going to ring my doctor. So I ring my doctor. And would you believe it? I'm ringing the doctors and somebody actually answered the phone. He's like, oh, okay, what should I say now? I said, oh, can I book an appointment to see a doctor? And she goes, yeah. I said, when would you like to come in? I said, whenever. She goes, okay, come in at 5:30. I said, pardon? you know, yeah, coming today, 5:30. I said, wow. And 9 times out of 10, number one, you're not going to get through to your doctor. You're going to get an answer machine. Yeah. And number two, they're not going to tell you to come the same day. They're going to tell you coming a week later, a few days later, or 2 weeks time or something like that. They said, coming today. So that day I packed up my stuff. It was a long journey going home, you know. I'm thinking to myself, I didn't even tell my wife. I didn't even tell my wife that I was going to the doctor. So I'm in my car and all these things just going through my head, how I've been feeling, what's been happening to me. And when I got to the doctors now, you know, I went home first and then I went to the doctors because it was too early. And I'm sitting down in the reception area in the doctors and I'm thinking, I need to go home. I don't want to hear the result. I don't want to hear it's positive or negative. You know, and what am I going to tell them? What are they going to do for me? You know, so one of my foot was on its way out of the door to leave. And then they called my name. And when they called my name, I said, oh, okay. So they come out, Mr. Wissart. He said, yeah, okay. So I went in to see my doctor and I told her everything that was going on with me, pains in my stomach, blood in my stool, everything like that. She checked my body to find if they could find a lump or anything. They couldn't find nothing. So they sent me for a scan. I went to the hospital for a scan a few weeks later. That's another thing, for a body scan. I went for a scan for the blood in my stool as well. And that's another story as well. And she said, let's do a pinprick blood test, which you do take the blood from your finger. And when they done that, they looked at the blood and they took the results, and that was 15.9. They call it a blood glucose blood test. And mine was 15.9. It's supposed to be 5. Yeah. And she looked at me, she said, okay, you may be diabetic. So we're going to send you for another blood test, a HbA1c blood test. And that determines the last 3 months of your blood sugar levels. Yeah. So once I had that blood test and I got the result back from that, my HbA1c was 92 and it's supposed to be 42 and below. And because I didn't know what diabetes was at that time, it meant nothing to me. But when that doctor looked into my eyes and that doctor was not smiling, the reaction made me feel nervous. Made me feel nervous. And that word came out. She said, you're diabetic. And I think to myself, diabetic, what's that? What's that? And it's funny how the mind works. Where have I heard the word diabetes from? You know? And the 2 times I remember about diabetes. Number one was when my friend's mother wasn't very well. And we visited her. As soon as I walked into the room, she said, Lyndon, the sugar get me. The first word she said, Lyndon, the sugar get me. Mr. Riggs, in Jamaica, Caribbean, when they say the sugar get me, that means diabetes. It's like a death sentence when you say diabetes. Unfortunately, a few months later, she did pass away. And that's when I found out it was diabetes.
Because I had a friend. The reason why I was very aware of it was that I had a friend who had one of the diabetes and he had to drink Coca-Cola to bring his sugar levels
up. Yeah.
Because what happens is when his sugar levels were very low, he would go into a fit.
Yes.
And you just see him spazzling out. And we just, as kids, we never knew what this was when he got into fits. Until after a while, when we got to find out, we started to know what exactly to do. But then I'm a person that used to do a reflection, and I would when I saw something like that, I'm going to go and check it out, see what it is. And that used to frighten me. That's what took me off, because I used to love sweets and chocolates and things like that. But it stopped me from taking that kind of stuff. So I get when you get that knock, you say, you know what, I'm going to change. But in forms of your creativity, and now that, as I said, as you're a chef, as you understand how everything is starting to work, we're going into the facts of you creating this book, because throughout the journey, you can see, like, sometimes we never know where we're actually going.
Yeah.
But if you look back, you can actually see your map road working towards what you've accomplished today. So, you know, like, as I always show everyone, you know, this is This is his book out there. So if you have the opportunity, please go to Amazon and copy it up. I will sell you more information.
Or to my website
later on the show. So yes. So in saying that,
I think
what gave you that creativity
to do it? The second thing is the second time when I heard about diabetes, when my cousin was diagnosed, he was type 1 diabetic.
Yeah.
And my cousin said to me, Lyndon, if you ever become diabetic, don't take any medication because there are side effects to it. And the only thing that I used to take was a headache tablet, because working in the kitchen, you got so much headache, working with people and the food and long hours, you only take headache tablets. So when my doctor went like that for medication, I thought to myself, I've never been on any medication in my life before, and I don't want to start now. So I said to my doctor, listen, can I do it without medication? And they said, listen, I don't recommend it, but I'll give you 3 weeks to have another blood test. So I thought to myself, okay, fine. So they gave me the benefit of the doubt. So my question to my doctor was, how did I become diabetic? They said, because your blood sugars is very high. I said, why? It's your lifestyle, the foods that you've been eating, the carbohydrates, pasta, rice, potatoes, the fizzy drinks, the biscuits, the snacking, all those kinds of things. Yeah. And when they said that to me, I thought to myself, okay, I need to stop eating these things now. I need to cut them down like today. Today. Because number one, with the effects of diabetes, like I said before, every 22 seconds, somebody loses a lower limb through diabetes. Every 6 seconds, somebody dies from diabetes. Yeah. And if you become sick by taking any other form of medication and it affects your body, if you stay diabetic, you could lose a limb. And me personally, I'm self-employed. So if I'm self-employed, I don't earn. If I don't work, I don't earn. Do you know what I'm saying? So that has a detrimental effect on me and my family and my lifestyle. So I need to do something about it straight away. So that day, I said to myself, okay, Lyndon, you're going to cut down on your carbohydrates, pasta, rice, potatoes, everything. So I done that. That was my transition. And from then, from doing that, from my HbA1c being 92 and going back for my next blood test in 25 days, my HbA1c went down to 77. Yeah. Another 28 days, it went down from 77 down to 60. Within a total of 105 days, it went back down to 41, below the 42 mark. So it went back down to normal. So I put my diabetes in remission within 105 days naturally, without any prescribed medication. And the way I done it was my mindset, Mr. Riggs. What do I need to do? How do I need to do it? And I was overweight at the time. And I found out that I was overweight when my mum said to me, Lyndon, your belly will get big.
That's the 9 months.
Lyndon, your belly will get big. So my mum's Jamaican. I said, Mum, you can't talk to me like that. I'm the baby of the family. But my mum don't mix her words. She tells you as it is. So you know my mum said as well, Mr. Riggs, pigs don't know when pigs stink. So when you're in a certain environment, you don't know it. Once you're amongst people who are like you don't think nothing about it. It's just normal, you know? But when I go home, I look at myself as, boy, that don't look too good. So I went on an exercise, physical activity regime. Yeah, physical activity. I started changing my diet. I cut out all these carbohydrates. Yeah, I went on to more fruit, more vegetables. Yeah, and I've done intermittently fasting as well on a regular basis. About 4 or 5 times a week, I was intermittently fasting, 5-6 hours a day. I take my daughter to school in the morning for 8:30. I go straight to the gym, work out for 3-4 hours. Yeah, without drinking, just drinking water. That was my intermittently fasting. But I didn't realize I was intermittently fasting until I met some nurses, medical people, and they tell me, "Oh, you were intermittently fasting." I said, "Really? What's that?" They said, when you don't eat for a certain period of time, you stay away from food. I said, okay, so that helps. So with intermittent fasting, it helps detox the body as well. So as a diabetic, the number one thing you need to do, because you got your blood sugars are high, you need to detox it and clear the system out. Yeah, all the stuff that's in your intestine as well. You need to clear that out. You need a body cleanse.
Okay. Before we go into that and the remaining of your book, is Mum around, or Mum has
No, Mum's here. Mum's still here. Mum's 90.
So wow, and that's what I'm trying to say. And she was warning you and telling you. But you know what? It's a good thing you mentioned Mum, because I've got a new song here, and you know, as it's international week, and it's Mother's Day on Sunday. I said, you know what, I'm gonna play a little bit of Carol Thompson for the family. So let's get this in. You know, this is for all the women. You know, so.
And what do we do? Music like that. You want to dance? Night moves, the right moves.
Exactly.
No, you can't keep a good woman down. Every day she'll rise when a crown, triumphantly, like a brand new day. When you think she's over and done, she will rise like the morning sun. 'Cause no matter how you try, can't keep a good woman down. She's stronger than a lion, someone that you always can rely on. She's the only one you can run to when the world turns its back on you. Sweeter than a honeysuckle rose, growing in a garden of thorns. How she does it, nobody knows, but she keeps on rising. No, you can't keep a good woman down. Every day she'll rise when a crown, triumphantly, like a brand new day. When you think she's over and done, she will rise like the morning sun. 'Cause no matter how you try, can't keep a good woman down. She's a shoulder to cry on, she's a rock you can rely on. She'll turn water into wine just to see you smile. She's a light in the dark and a smile to mend your broken heart. And she will wrap you up in love till your pain subsides. No, you can't keep a good woman down. Every day she'll rise when a crown, triumphantly, like a brand new day. When you think she's over and done, she will rise like the morning sun. 'Cause no matter how you try, can't keep a good woman down. She'll always be right there for you, like a shadow standing close to you. A gentle summer breeze circling your life. There's nothing she wouldn't do for you to make your wildest dreams come true. Turn your gray skies to blue, bring sunshine in your life. No, you can't keep a good woman down. Every day she'll rise when a crown, triumphantly, like a brand new day. When you think she's over and done, she will rise like the morning sun. 'Cause no matter how you try, can't keep a good woman down. No, you can't keep a good woman down. Every day she'll rise when it crowds triumphantly like a brand new day. When you think she's over and done, she will rise like the morning sun. 'Cause no matter how you try, can't keep a good woman down.
Wow. I love her voice, man. Love her voice.
Yes.
Love her voice.
You know, for this Sunday, you know, it's Mother's Day. Make sure you get the flowers. Make sure you give Mum a hug if you can't afford the flowers. But try to make it Mum's Day and make Mum's Day every day, not just one day. It's every day because your legacy, your part of most of your legacy is with your mum. And you know, when Mum was saying, "Stop eating the sugar, stop eating too much of the bread, stop eating the cakes," and slapping your hand. Now we're reaping the repercussions of not listening.
Oh man.
Because if we was listening to Mum and drinking, gulping that them bitters down our throats, we would be an issue. We'd be continually doing it every Sunday.
Yeah.
But you know what? We forgot. So now, as we're going into the crust of your book, and you know, as I said, is what has given you that inspiration to actually write a book? Because many people, even though they've gone through it, and this is what I always like to go into people's creativity, because something in your mind said, you know what, I've got to create that book, and you kind of gave us information of what made you get there. But what made you actually put the pen to paper?
Mr. Riggs, it was different. It was the opposite side. I was never intended to write a book. It was never ever intended to write a book. When my cousin was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, I said to him, when he told me his story, how he got it through stress related, I said to him, Ken, you know something? You need to write a book, do a video, share your journey, your story with somebody, how you became type 1 diabetic. And he said, Lyndon, I've been thinking about writing a book about my story. And I said to him, okay, that's good. So I had a friend who's written a book already. So I said to my friend, listen, my cousin's got a story. Can you help him write it? And he goes, yeah. He says, come to this meeting where you're going to meet some other people about how to construct a book, how to write a book, coaching skills and that kind of thing. So I said, okay, brilliant. So we went to this event. And at this event that we went to, I sat on the front row. My cousin sat at the back row because I wanted to get as much information from my cousin as possible to help him put this book together. So I'm sitting on the front row and I was just enthralled with all these people talking about their stories, their journeys. And there's one lady that I met there, she had written 4 books. I thought, she's written 4 books. I said to her, how come you written 4 books? She goes, I just enjoy writing. I said, really? She goes, yeah. And that's the evening, Mr. Riggs, that my HbA1c went from 77 down to 60. Yeah. And that evening, I met my cousin. I was waiting for him. He was about an hour late. I remember that. Yeah, Ken, remember that? You was about an hour late. I was waiting for you in the rain. Yeah, so to Ken, you know. And I was waiting. I couldn't wait to tell him, Ken, I got my blood test results today. My HbA1c's gone down to 60. You know? So when I told him that, he looked at me and says, what? I said, yeah. He said, you know something then? What you done is really, really good. Really, really good. And when I was in that meeting, Mr. Riggs, a light bulb moment just came on. So you know something? Ken said to me that I done something really good with my diabetes, but I didn't think about it. I said, maybe I've got a story here. Maybe I can write a book about it. So I mentioned it to my friend. He said, Lyndon, well, just write down everything that you've done. Excuse me. See me next week. Bring everything down that you've written, and then we take it from there. So I wrote down just A4 pieces of what I was going through every day. Nothing structured, just what I was doing. And I went to him, and Mr. Riggs, I'm sitting down on the table with him, and this is the first time I'm reading it. I just read, and I just put it all into a file. I said, okay, let me go see him. I went to see him. I started to read it. I started to cry, you know?
Of course.
Because you know the thing about it, I was looking at me, reading about me.
That was your time of reflection.
Yeah. And unless you don't write it down, you don't know what you're really going through.
Mm.
You know? And that's when I'm reading like that. And I look up at my friend Darren. I said, Darren, what do you reckon? Have I got a book? And Darren had a tear in his eye as well. You know?
And that's what I always talk about. I'm always talking about trauma, generational trauma. Is that when we're able to reflect and actually see the true concept,
yes,
it comes through generations and generations and generations. This is why sometimes you might stand there and you just don't know why you're crying.
Yeah,
because you've gone through so much.
Yeah,
that has come from another parent, and another, and you're taking all that burden into account of that situation.
Yes.
So yeah, I get to understand that.
Yeah, and
so
that was it. And he just said, Lyndon, you got a book, and that was it. That was it. If he said, "No, I don't think so," I would have walked away and said, "I'll forget about that." But he said, "Lyndon, you have a book. You got a story." So I started to write it with him, and he said, "You know something? This is too deep for me. Let me get you somebody else that can help you write it." So I got somebody else, a professional person, to help me start to put the book together, construct the book together. And the book was done very, very quickly because I'd written everything already, the structure, what I wanted, my story. But my book coach was really good. She started to ask me about different questions. What do you want in it? How do you want this? How do you want that? So I was just looking at my life story, you know, and I had to reflect back even to the 80s. When I was working at Savoy, yeah, in the afternoon, they would bring around a trolley full of water and lemonade. Yeah. As a young teenager, you're not drinking water. Lemonade was a luxury drink back then. You're only going to drink lemonade. In the 90s, yeah, we had family that lived down in near Ramsgate, yeah, Broadstairs, yeah, down by the coast. And every time we used to go down there probably once or twice a month sometimes, and I'd buy 2 bags of jelly babies, yeah, for my journey. Because back then you think if you have sugar, it's going to keep you awake. So I'll be drinking. I'd have a bag of jelly babies and eating that on my way down. Drink while I'm driving on my way down to Ramsgate. Yeah, and I'll finish the bag before just to keep me awake. So even back then, my story was, Mr. Riggs, Lyndon, when you come around the house today, don't fall asleep.
Yeah,
don't fall asleep. I had a habit going around to people's houses, falling asleep. I always had stomach problems. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was reflecting back on my life, Mr. Riggs, when I might have been diabetic. So back in the 90s, I might have been diabetic, but I didn't know.
All right, let me quickly play one of your health videos. Hi. So that was a quick video. I'm going to go into the book content itself. If someone is, I'm a newcomer to all this, and I purchased this book, what am I going to receive from it?
What you're going to receive, the number one thing you're going to receive is a journey of somebody who reversed their type 2 diabetes, yeah, without prescribed medication. You've done it in an organic way, yeah, naturally. You're gonna read stuff in this book, and this is a fact. People have come to me and said to me, Lyndon, this is exactly what I've been through. This is exactly what I've done. So the book is totally relatable to people who are pre-diabetic or people who are diabetic, yeah. And the book is a journey. So I've got pictures on there from when I was working at Savoy, pictures of my mother, some foods that I was eating. It's going to give you a breakdown of the foods that I was eating before I was diabetic, foods that I was eating when I was reversing my diabetes. Yeah, it's going to tell you about the things that I was doing to reverse my diabetes, my fasting, my mindset. I got affirmations in the book about what to do to remind yourself what to do to be positive. Yeah, because like we talk about now, we've got a lot of mental health issues going on now. So the number one thing what the Inspired Diabetic book's going to do for you is give you the foundation to say to yourself, okay, I'm diabetic type 2. Where do I need to start? The book gives you the foundation to say, okay, this is a good place for me to start now. Yeah, this is a good place for me to start now. Because this is what Lyndon done. I can probably do the same thing, duplicate that. Because I've done it already, Mr. Riggs. Yeah, it's done by me already. Yeah, so when I've done it, I've got my website where people could go on to now. They could communicate with me, yeah, on a one-to-one basis, and also with
let me quickly put that up, family, so you can see. And this is his website,
inspireddiabetic.com. So on inspireddiabetic, it's like a bit of a journey about me, what I'm doing. Yeah, okay. And we talk about certain foods that help you reduce your blood sugars naturally. Yeah, like okra, bitter gourd, apple cider vinegar, moringa, cerasee, baobab, burdock. There's lots of things that we're doing at the moment. And also, I'm doing a project now with the takefreechefs.com, which we could talk about later, which is another program that we're working on to help people within the community and around the world to help them eat naturally, organically, food for diabetics as well. We do cooking sessions, teaching for a younger generation about foods and how they can have a healthier options of a fried chicken or oven fried chicken or oven cooked chicken. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they're getting in the normal shops on the high street. So we're looking at different things that we're doing. You know?
Okay. Is this the hold on. So would you say this
1, 2, 3 steps to your heart.
That was the quick advert for how are they able to tune in or get to see about this thing that you're doing?
The Take Free Chefs program, there's a website called the takefreechefs.com. Yeah, takefreechefs.com. And we've got a video on there which gives an introduction to what we're all about. It's put together by a lady called Teresa Hatchett. And there's another gentleman called Kevin Ellis who does the media side. And there's the three chefs, Richard Simpson, from Coming Up Caribbean Takeaway. And he's got a brilliant catering company as well. And then there's Chef Kevin. Chef Kev's an award-winning chef, and he does a lot about the fish, vegetarian, vegan dishes as well. And there's myself doing more of the diabetes healthy options for diabetics. So Teresa's brought us all together to showcase our skills, our knowledge, to help people within the community regarding health, nutrition, and tasty foods that you can have. And the good thing about it, we're working with people that they look at certain foods, but they don't like it. But if you give them the right ingredients to mix it together, it can make it nice. It tastes nice. You know, like for example, Brussels sprouts is very good for you. Yeah, health-wise. Yeah, okay. It's very healthy. But normal people just boil Brussels sprouts in water. Do you know what I'm saying? Just pure, and it tastes horrible. So why can't you add something to Brussels sprouts, either to the water, like star anise, onions, cinnamon, even peppers, different things, ground pepper, and different things, and take it out of the water once it's cooked and mix it with some sweated off onions. Do you know what I'm saying? Or put some sesame oil with it, or avocado oil, or something like that. Or if some people like the bacon, you know what I'm saying? I don't advocate for bacon, but some people like that salty bacon. Why don't you toss it in some bacon then? Do you know what I'm saying? You could toss it with some sweet potato, cut sweet potato very, very finely, and just toss it around with that. It's very, very nice. Or even parsnip as well. There's so much things you could do with it to make it more palatable for yourself. You know? So there's lots of foods out there that people don't like, but we can help them to make themselves like it. You know, even like with some nice fresh lemon on it, which is good for the system, pomegranate on it as well. So much things we could do with some of these foods.
Family, please press that like button, share it, make sure that everyone gets to see about this show, because it's been quite very very, very, very interesting in forms of the information. As he said, go to his website and whatsoever. But Lyndon, if there is like something that you would love to say to the general public, and give them a little gem of what you have learned in forms of your creativity, because sometimes it's not just about the cure, but it's the steps of your actual journey in which you created to being where you are today.
Okay, there's four little gems that I'm gonna give you. Yeah, number one, is a mindset. Yeah, that's the first thing. The mindset. Can I do it? What do I need to do? Yeah. Number two, is diet. Yeah. What do I need to start to eat? And what do I need to take out of my diet? Yeah. Okay. The things that got you into trouble, you need to take them out of your diet. Yeah. If you can't take them out of your diet, reduce them to smaller portions. Yeah. I'm going to give you a typical example. Caribbean food. Yeah. Rice and peas, roast potatoes, macaroni, cheese, fizzy drinks, all on the same day, same plate, apart from the drinks. Yeah. We need to come away from that now and start having, maybe you have macaroni cheese today with rice and peas, or rice and peas without the roast potatoes. You know, instead of having it once upon a time, we'd have rice and peas just on a Sunday. Now we have it every day. You know, some people's eating rice every day. We need to break down the days that we're having certain foods and not to eat it. We still love the foods, don't get me wrong, but if you still want it on a regular basis, have smaller portions. Moderation is so key. Yeah, moderation is so key. And eat foods, that's going to help your blood sugars reduce naturally. And like number one is like okra water. Yeah, I got other videos on my website, that you can look at, goes into more detail about some of the foods that I've been cooking, where you find more information about. So this is how I said. The third one is physical activity. Do something. If you can't get out of the chair at home, do something. Get the heart going. Get the heart pumping. Some kind of physical activity. I enjoyed going to the gym. That's what I always done. I used to run around in the garden. I do skipping. There's so many different things you can do, to help yourself to lose some weight or just get the metabolism in your body going. Yeah. The fourth thing, which is probably the hardest thing, is intermittently fasting. This is the number one gem, detoxing of the body, because it's a big challenge. I was doing intermittently fasting, but once a month I was doing a 24-hour fast before I was going for a blood test. I knew I was going for a blood test, and how to get my blood sugars low? Not to eat, just drink water. So psychological, I was thinking to myself, okay, then you're going for a blood test. No foods, no carbohydrates, no pasta, rice, no fizzy drinks, just water for the next 24 hours. One day I went to 27 hours, just drinking water. So I was testing my body. Don't get me wrong, it's not easy, but when you think about it, put it in your mind, it becomes easy. Because you can tell yourself you can do it. And it's for a short period of time as well. So the fasting will help detox the body, cleanse the body. Sometimes you hear your belly rumbling and stuff like that. You feel hungry. Drink water. Drink water. How do you know how much water you're drinking? You get bottles like this, like 250 ml water. I got lemon in here. This is my okra water with fresh lemon in it. Yeah, you have 3 or 4 of these bottles around you a day, and you drink it. Yeah. Also, I got where's the other one? Here it is. Here's my other bottle, my okra water. Yeah, okra water. This is a 1 liter bottle. Yeah, 1 liter bottle. So you can need 2 of these a day. Yeah, or 2 liters of liquid a day. Yeah. So basically, what I've just done, I've cut the okra, put it in the water, leave it for 24 hours. You can leave it out to ferment a little bit, and then the next day you can drink it, or you can put it in the fridge. Yeah. But I like to leave it out till fermented. So when you go slimy, you know it's ready. Yeah, ready to drink. So that's the okra water. That's one of the biggest gems, because what the okra does, it reduces the blood sugars naturally. It does naturally, and this works. Yeah, I've lots of testimonies from that, and I'm a testimony for that as well. Yeah, and the last thing that I'm gonna leave you with as a major gem. Yeah, okay, like it says on my book. Yeah, type 2 diabetes is an opportunity. Yeah, it's an opportunity. Type 2 diabetes isn't a life sentence. Remember, type 2 isn't a life sentence. Yeah, it's what you put in your mouth that determines type 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in forms of once again your social medias, how can they get to your social medias?
My social media is the Inspired Diabetic on my Twitter accounts, my Facebook account, and my Instagram as well. And my website, theinspireddiabetic.com. Excuse me. And I can take you to all of them as well. But the Inspired Diabetic, you do a research for that and you'll find me as well. If you want a signed copy of the book, you can go directly to my website, theinspireddiabetic.com, and order your book there. And just leave a message when you're placing your order, and I can do a signed copy to you or to whoever you want the book to go to directly. So that's fine. Brilliant.
Okay. So, family, as we come to an end, but before I come to this end, I'm just going to quickly play a couple videos for you. So these are the past shows that we have done so far. This is number 9, and I'm going to play you this one.
So I actually toured with him for 7 years and really got a chance to like dig in and
deny that I've got the qualifications. Let me get this qualification. Let me get this qualification.
Yes, family. As you can see, the past shows that we have done, this is number 9. And
wow.
And now we're trying to get more creatives. If you feel that you are creative and you feel that you have done something for the people, by the people, please inbox me at blackicetv@gmail.com, and we will try to see if we can get you on the next following seasons. So please check that out. Furthermore, in the next few days, as we are coming towards this weekend, and it's Mother's Day this Sunday,
yeah.
we have what we call the International Sister Circles every Sunday, where all the women come together and able to provide a safe haven at 5 p.m. GMT time, and that will be 12 p.m. EST time. But let me play a little video for you.
My name is Safina, and I'm from Sitting Pretty Academy.
Yes. So make sure you log in this Sunday at 5 p.m. GMT time and 12 p.m. EST time. And that is a lady called Safina. She's got a beauty school. So she's going to be talking about the beauty business with the sisters. She's going to be talking about the body and how to do all the different types of things. You know, like when you go on your retreat, all the kind of lovely stuff that they do on the retreat. She's going to be showing you all them kind of stuff, and to show you about the educational system and business behind the scenes. So she's going to be negotiating that with the women and talking and discussing, as all there's many women on the panel, and it's on Mother's Day as well. So, you know, it's something to relax and to watch, you know. So that will be at 5 p.m., as I said, 5 p.m. GMT time and 12 p.m. EST time. And even on that same day, we are back again with the NOI, and we're going to be having a big discussion on, is it time for a new political approach, part 2, where we're going to have a whole heap of activists, as we had a lot of the political guys last weekend. Please go to Black Eyes TV and check it out, because it's got a whole heap of them on there, and check it out. And as I said, check out all the information in the backlog of all the things that we have done in the past, you know, as well as check out all the stuff on the Black Eyes TV times 2, to subscribe to both of them, because it's a lot of information. And check it out. So we will be starting at 11:30 GMT time, where people can actually come on the panel and come and discuss and come and get the information. Check out for all the links. If you go underneath on the thing and you go to our main page, you will see what's coming up and what's approaching. So just put a reminder on there. Click on the reminder so it reminds you for when the shows are coming on, or make sure you subscribe to both channels and get as much information that you need. So this will be at 11:30 at GMT time, early in the morning in the States. So get involved. You know, it's going to be big. We've got some big activists on there across the globe, and it's going to be interactive. So please come and speak your piece and whatsoever. And then we're back on Tuesday, 10 p.m. True Talk. And True Talk is about the public speaking their opinions, speaking their truths, speaking what they think, speaking their whole mind. You know, this is Terry Riggs, Mr. Riggs in the house. And that's with Brother Rich, my co-host, who will be doing the True Talk. And then I'll be passing through. And then there's going to be some more shows. So make sure you subscribe to both channels so that you can get the notifications. And sometimes the notifications don't come up, but keep on checking, because there's going to be some brilliant shows coming up in the next few weeks, as we're going to be having a whole heap of interviews. So please subscribe to both channels. And by the way, before we head out, I will show you another thing as well. Some of the shows in the past on the Black Eyes TV 7. Yes. Family, thank you for watching and thank you for viewing. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe to the family, and enjoy this over the weekend, as this is quite deep and good information. But before we head out, Lyndon,
yes, Mr. Riggs.
Last words to the public before we head out.
Last words: be safe, be positive, and just do what you feel is right for you. You know, you gotta just be positive, no matter what. Be positive.
So as I always say, spend black, believe in black, always be black, run away black. Make sure you click off black. Everything you need to do in that narrative of being in your blackness.
Yeah.
Peace, love,
black out your diabetes,
and harmony. Love you loads, family.
Thank you very much.
Peace out.
V7. For more information about me, you can go to my website, theinspireddiabetic.com. Thank you.
Keep your head up. Keep your head up. All the shit we been through, I know you fed up. These constant type of pressures, you ain't led up. This country should be happy we ain't teared up.
Nobody love us, let us not pretend. No. Let us gain our independence and let us not depend. They'll never stop us now, they couldn't stop us then. No. This country lucky that we only want equality and not revenge. We need to invest in each other, how much you got to spend? If I needed your help, my brother, how much you got to lend? You got a black business, I support you. I'ma buy black, the block I want us to buy back. I'm trying to buy that, I'm trying not to get shot at in Babylon with a cop at. I need to see an all black Amazon I can shop at. Stop that, cause the black man is king, black man is God. Any black celebrity quiet, that man a fraud. Cause they wanna leave us with no blessings. I seen blacks get beat peacefully protesting, leaving the street bleeding with no weapons, or get COVID treated with no testing. I'm squeezing with no questions.
Keep your head up. All the shit we been through, I know you fed up.